This morning we are looking for Christmas trees. It's the big countdown to Christmas, so we've come to the Croft, which is right next to the, let's read this, the National Forest Adventure Farm. I'm reading that off the chest of Ivor over here, who's going to join me and tell me a little bit more about Christmas trees. I'm a big fan of the Christmas tree, particularly the real Christmas tree. So good morning to you, young sir.
Good morning, Dave.
Nicely attired. It looks like a proper lumberjack at any rate. So without further ado, I think we ought to have a look at some of these trees. Everybody's quite excited that we're counting down the days to Christmas, so not long to go now, folks. So you'll want that real tree in your lounge for Christmas. So we ought to start with a traditional one, haven't we, really? Because there's quite a few we can look at, isn't there?
Yeah, sure, Dave. Yeah, we do different varieties. We do 5 different varieties altogether. So if you want to first look at the Norway spruce, which is what most people know as the traditional Christmas tree, we can have a look at that first. Do you want to go over to that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
It's over here.
just drag one of those out for you.
Feels quite good. The smell's quite nice as well, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you get, from your Norway spruce here, you will get a nice, strong smell from this. It says, this is a traditional Christmas tree. The one main drawback with these is you can tend to get needle loss from these. They will drop their needles before the other varieties that we sell, but that can be helped depending on how you look after your Christmas tree.
So it's Wife with Hoover, who probably wouldn't like this one as much, but is this the most popular one?
No, we tend to find actually the non-drop ones are now the most popular ones. When we first started selling trees, this was all we sold. But then we started introducing the non-drop trees, which admittedly are a bit more expensive. And we thought because they were more expensive, we wouldn't sell as many. But people, as soon as they realised that's what was available, they wanted them more and more. So this is your tree for if your house isn't too hot, or maybe if you're going to put it in a conservatory. Certainly if you've got one that's standing outside, this will do you a great job, and I say it's not as much money as the other trees.
And how much is it?
This one is at £22.
Very nice.
So not bad, you know, it's a sort of 7-foot tree, £22, good, a lot of tree for your money there.
So let's think, I want something slightly better than the average Christmas tree. Sorry for calling you average, by the way. Right, let's have a look at the next one.
Let's plonk him back in there then.
So what was that one called again?
That was a Norway spruce.
Norway spruce.
Yep.
I hope you're not going to test me on these at the end.
I might well.
Oh, right.
Okay, if I get the next chap out here, this is the first of the firs that we do. We three different sorts of firs. This is a relatively new type of tree that's on the market. It's called a Fraser fir. Right.
Is that from Scotland then?
No, these ones here are grown in Wales.
Oh, and here's me thinking Fraser was a Scottish.
A Scottish name, it probably is.
Oh.
We do get some of our trees from Scotland. We either get them all from either Scotland or Wales. This guy here, he's from Wales. Very nice place up in the Welsh mountains. Does a great job of growing Christmas trees. So I have a lot of trees from there. And as you can see, the beauty of this tree, it doesn't spread out too wide, so it's nice and compact. If you've not got too much space in your house, if you've just got a little corner in the living room that you want to use up, you can use this guy here. It will not drop a lot of needles, okay?
So
and you
extra
get
bonus point over our little friend over there.
Absolutely, and again, it's got a really nice strong smell about it as well, so you know when you've got one of these in the house for sure. Okay.
Not that you can smell it on the camera like, but there you go. And how much is this one?
This is one of the biggest ones of these we do, so it's probably
£47.
£47, but like I say, it is a quality tree, you know. I mean, the smaller ones of these start at around £20, so and you've got all points in between. We do quite a good range of sizes in them.
So what have we got next then?
Yeah, this guy out here, again, this is one of the bigger ones of the range. We do smaller ones of these. This is a lodgepole pine.
What?
Oh, where? There you are. Yeah. This is a lodgepole pine.
Lodgepole pine.
Okay, so this is the only one of the pines that we do. It is, these trees are probably more popular in the north of England. They're not widely sold as Christmas trees in this part of the country, but we do have a sort of core clientele that really like them.
Still there, Ivor?
Still nattering away. They're very good, again, at not dropping their needles, probably the best of all of them, to be brutally honest about it. They will hang with their needles lovely, and they keep this, they don't tend to dry out at all. And they look very, I always tend to think with these, they probably look a little bit boring until you've got them decorated. Some nice big tinsel on here, they look absolutely superb.
And just looking at the top of the Christmas tree, it looks as if it'll be fairly kind to the fairy. Yeah, very nice, and that's how much again?
Again, this I've picked one of the biggest ones. I don't want to try and make it look too expensive.
You put the price tag at the top?
Yeah, I put it at the top. That biggest one, it's an 8-foot tree, that is £60.
Ivor was nearly killed by one of his Christmas trees there. There we go.
But again, these start at the mid-30s for the smaller ones of these, so we do have a variety.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll plonk
So
him
you'll
back.
stagger back with that one.
Okay.
So I'm sure when you were a youngster, you never dreamt that you'd be selling Christmas trees.
No, I
later
didn't.
in life, but,
It's something we got into about 12 years ago. We just saw an advert in one of the farming papers, this guy selling Christmas trees, so we thought we'd buy a few and see if we could manage to move them on. And it went very well the first year, so we've sort of gradually expanded.
You branched out then?
Hey.
Yeah. Oh.
Boom, boom. Right.
What have we got next then?
Okay, next. Again, this is a noble fir, so it's the second of the firs that we do. Very, very nice trees. You quite often see, you know, this time of year they have sort of programs on telly where they try and they'll have certain experts in getting to the bottom of which are the best sorts of Christmas trees. Usually, noble fir comes out as being the best one.
Really?
Several reasons, really. A, as you can see, the nice shape. It's sort of ideal for hanging your baubles on. Pardon the phrase.
I'll do the gags, thank you.
Really, really nice, strong smell off these again. Excellent needle retention. So, you know, it's all those things. But they are quite scarce, these trees. Apparently, I'm told by the growers, they are a difficult tree to grow to get it right because, as with all the other trees, they don't just plonk them in the ground and come back 6 or 7 years later and there's your tree. They have to be pruned every year, sprayed to keep any pests and diseases off them. And the old noble here, he is a bit susceptible to certain diseases, and it's also hard to prune it to get the shapes just right with them.
Is this from Wales as well?
This one here is from Wales,
Yeah,
yes, this
yeah.
particular one is from Wales, yes.
So when all these trees are cut down in Wales, Scotland, or anywhere for that matter, what's the replanting sort of procedure?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, as soon as you take your tree away, you want to replant to start the process going on again. And depending on who you're dealing with, you know, if they're looking to expand the business in the future, they will plant more trees than what they harvest every year. I mean, they'll probably do that as routine anyway, because you don't get back the same amount of trees that you've planted. If you plant 1,000 trees, you'll probably end up with 600 or 700 harvestable trees by the time certain ones haven't grown properly or they've had a disease.
How long does it actually take for any of these trees to grow? Shall we say this one, for instance?
Yeah, we've got a good
To its full
8-foot tree
height.
here, so
Yeah.
you're probably looking around about 8 years for something like this
8
to grow.
years,
So
as
yeah,
long as
it's a long old process, you know, and a lot of work goes into them. So
7 Christmases then to get one good Christmas tree here.
absolutely, yeah. So that's
Wow.
why, I do grow a few myself, but not too many. The growers, they are sort of specialist guys, and it's a sort of full-time job for them. Well, you know, unfortunately, the rest of the year round, I'm busy doing other things, so I'm reluctant to try and grow too many because I've only enough time to look after them.
There's our little friend the noble.
Okey-dokey.
Very good.
Right, and finally,
Last but not least.
Certainly by no means least, it's probably, of the non-drop trees, this is probably the most common one, the most popular one.
Common.
Common in a nice
tree.
way.
Is this the one you sell the most of?
This
do you reckon,
is,
either?
yeah, I would say either this one or the Fraser fir are certainly the two most popular ones. As you can see,
It's a nice tree though.
it is a nice tree. There's
it's a
plenty
proper
going on
Christmas
there.
tree, isn't it,
Plenty
really?
going on there. As you can see, the big difference between this and the Fraser fir is that these tend to sort of fill quite a big space in your house, you know. So
Our cat would love running up this.
so-
He'd
yeah.
think that would be great. If you're watching, Zach, this is the one for you, mate. I reckon.
So, yeah, as you can see, they do tend to be similar to the Noble. A lot of people do, to the untrained eye, some people might think a Noble is the same as a Nordman.
My eye's getting trained as we go along.
I can
I'll
spot them
tell
a
you.
mile away, but yeah, you have got sort of slightly layered effect with this as opposed to the Fraser fir, which is quite a nice full tree.
Fantastic.
But yeah, like I say, again, good needle retention with these. Probably, if they've got a drawback, these ones, I don't think you get as much of a smell, you know, sort of pungent aroma off these as you do with the Nobles and the Frasers. So that's what I would say would be the only drawback
And
with
the
these.
cost on this one?
The cost on that chap there is
£50 for this one.
£50. Again, this is one of the biggest in the range. You know, we do start these at around about the sort of £25, £30 mark, and we do these in 2 different grades as well, the Nordman, because they're such a popular tree. We try to sort of cover all bases with that. So we do. This is the premium range. This is the most expensive range. We also do a value range of these, which you probably find the tree isn't just quite as good a quality. It might just be a little bit more gappy, you know, slightly more layered, and they'll be sort of probably between £5 and £10 less per tree as opposed to this one.
Brilliant, like this.
So we've got plenty of varieties, so plenty of suit all budgets.
One final thing, we've been showing you all these trees, and Ivor sort of stands outside and holds it. Now, he doesn't actually come as part of the package. He's not going to stand there and hold your tree for the entire Christmas. So I think you've got 1 or 2 pots or holders. What's the correct description?
Right,
To
stands,
put your
tree stands.
Tree stands.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
there's a technical term.
Yeah, we sell tree stands. as much as for any reason, obviously, you know, it's another sale for us, but we're sure that all the stands that we sell hold water, because it is very important to water your tree.
Oh, I was just going to get onto that.
Good, right. Even if it's a non-drop variety, they will still dry out. They'll dry out and not drop all the needles, but they don't look as good. So what you need to do is treat it like a cut flower, basically. You know, you cut a flower, put it in a vase of water. Same thing with a tree. So what is also very important, it's a service that we offer here when we're doing wrapping the tree up for people so they can take it home. We also cut a little bit off the base of the tree, because when it's first cut, like the sap goes hard in the bottom of the trunk and it seals up. You can stick that in a bucket of water and it'll sit there all day. It'll never take any water up until you've cut that bit off the base. We won't take any more water up. Once you've done that, it opens the pores up and they start taking water up. So, you know, get it in your house, put it in a stand that holds water, or if you don't want to buy a stand, absolutely fine. Just use a bucket and put gravel in it, and then put the water in, and the water will seep through the gravel and get into the tree. But I say it's most important to keep watering them, because you'll find, particularly the first few days when it's in the house, they will take up a lot of water, and it'll keep them looking nice and fresh then throughout the festive period.
So there we are. We plead the case for the real tree. Keep it real is basically what we're saying. You've got plenty of choice. So pop down to the Croft, have a word with Ivor here. He'll sort you out and probably explain in greater detail with a bit of luck, actually. He's probably skirted around a few issues with me. Hardly. But Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you.
All the best.
I don't know. I've never been so bamboozled by Christmas trees in all my life. I don't know, Sam. Your dad does my head in with these Christmas trees, mate.
Does my head in too.
Oh, but I suppose you have to help him with them, do you? Yeah.
Help yourself to a mince pie and sherry.
Do you think that'll make a difference?
Yeah.
Come on then, let's go
let's
over there and
some.
see what we can do.
Okay.
Oh, these look nice. Oh. Sherry as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're too young for sherry.
Yeah,
you keep your hands off. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.